Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Welcome to Vlogtober. It is actually a Sunday at the time that I'm filming this. You've been watching little clips of me work on some of my paper dolls over the last couple of days or day. I can't remember how much I filmed, but here we are. It is a Sunday. Have not done much today because I was getting my kiddo to his grandparents' house. So he is having a Jima Pupa day today, which he hasn't had in a while. He was very much looking forward to going over there and spending the day. I, of course, visited my folks for a little bit. So I didn't get back here till like 11:30, noon-ish. And even now it's 12:50. So for the last hour or so, I've been watching YouTube videos and eating lunch and hanging out with Miss Leota over here. But then figured, you know what, let me grab my camera and keep filming. So here we are. What I need to be doing is working. I have two paper dolls that are really close to being done. I scanned them yesterday. So they were sketched, transferred, outlined, painted, final outline, scanned. Now I can cut them out and assemble them. So I need to try to do that today. That would be good. As well as filming the short form content for that, because I film little reels and TikToks and stuff on those. It's very time consuming. But if you check out my Instagram @bybun, I have all of my finished paper dolls thus far posted. And they're fun, like just little videos to music. It's a good time. But I have two that I'd like to get done, and I could definitely get that knocked out today. So that's something I have to get done. The other thing is editing. I've only edited one Vlogtober vlog, and I keep filming these vlogs, and I haven't edited anything. I also have Patreon videos to edit. I have an obscene amount of editing to do. So I need to at least start editing something after I get at least those two paper dolls assembled. So that's like the bare minimum goals for today. I also will have to cook dinner at some point. That's on the docket for later. What do I really want to be doing? Reading Alchemized. Okay, let me put the dust jacket back on this while I talk about this book, because I took it off because it was getting serious. Okay, this book, I have so many thoughts and feelings. As I warned you all when Vlogtober started, I will be talking about books in a lot of these videos because I read a lot, okay? It's a thing that I do. I don't watch TV anymore. I read books. Okay, Alchemized. You guys heard me talk about this a little bit in a previous Vlogtober vlog, I think. Haven't edited it yet, so I think I'm hoping I did. I talked about getting my other books sort of off my plate so that I could concentrate and start this bad boy here. Oh my God, this book. Okay, if you don't know, if you're not in the know, okay, this is Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. The original version of this book, or the origins of this book, I should say, because I think it's vastly different, was actually a fan fiction written by this author. They wrote a Harry Potter fanfic, and it was basically like a Hermione fan fiction. So it was Draco and Hermione. And I've heard about this book for years, okay? Like I've heard about people talk about this book like crazy. It just was something that didn't particularly appeal to me because I'm not like the biggest Harry Potter person. It just was not something that particularly appealed to me just because I'm not a big Harry Potter person, and I heard it was long and very dark and very intense. So it was something that I just wasn't, I don't know. It was in the back of my mind, but it was never something that I was like, ooh, I really want to go read that, even though I've heard incredible things about it. But that fanfic got so much attention and downloads and just sort of like blew up on the internet and book talk and whatever. The author got picked up to basically create a traditionally published version of it. Obviously, there is no reference to what the fan fiction was based on in this. The author completely revamped it. And from what I'm hearing from people who have read Manacled was the fanfic, and then this is Alchemized, that the books are very different. And you really don't need to read that fanfic at all. You can just go right into this one because it is a very different story. Names, magic systems, maybe even political structure. I think a lot of it would have to be completely changed. Again, I don't read fan fiction, so I'm not really like, I'm probably not using the proper like words or context for these things. But anyhow, that's how this book came about. Okay. I pre-ordered this. This was something I pre-ordered, and I was very, very intrigued. And it was like, okay, finally, like it's how do I explain this? I wasn't super into reading Manacled because it was a Harry Potter fanfic, but this intrigued me. I knew roughly that this was going to be a bit of a darker book, but I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had really no idea what I was getting myself into. How do I even begin? Okay, well, to start off, I will say this. Dear God, check trigger warnings, because I'm like, am I a wuss? Because this is a really intense book. This is a really intense book. Now, look, I say check trigger warnings a lot, but I will say, whoa, Nilly, really please check the trigger warnings before picking up this book. It is really intense. The gore, medical detail, torture, there's a lot, okay? Like the subject matter is very serious and very dark and very intense with this book. I would say do not read this book unless you are in a very good headspace. Like I could see at times, like I'm flashing back to like maybe when I wasn't in like a good mental headspace, I could see where I would have a really hard time reading this, or I would need to take breaks and put it down and this, that, and the other. It's definitely one of the darker things that I've read. Again, I don't know if that's just me not having like a big breadth of dark stuff that I've read, but this feels like a very dark and intense book. That said, however, once you sort of get acclimated to what's going on in this book and why the author has put our character or characters in the situations that they are in, okay? And the setting of this book as well, it's post-war, okay? The female main character that we're following, she is taken prisoner as a prisoner of war. And she has basically some memory issues. There's something locked in her memory that someone or something, we don't know, I don't know, I haven't gotten to it yet. There's information that is being withheld deep within her memory, and she is being held captive, and they are trying to tap into that and get those memories out. That is probably important information. So it's an intense situation. It's just wild. But a good comparison, I would say, is Handmaid's Tale. I feel like this is Handmaid's Tale. Add a fantasy element to it, and you have this book. That all said, however, once I feel like I got acclimated to the vibes of this and the situations and the detail and all of that, this author creates such a vast, grounded, real world that it just really, I don't know, man. There's something about this book. There's something about it. It feels masterful in the way that this world is built and how our characters navigate within it. I'm only 30% in, you guys. I'm saying all this and I'm only 30% in. I never want it to end, which is crazy considering this is a 1,000-page book. Okay. It's 1,024 pages. And this thing is so heavy. It's so heavy. You'll hear lots of people on the internet talk about this. Even if you're not going to read this book, pick this up the next time that you're at a bookstore. It is so heavy. It's crazy. It's unlike anything else I've ever read before. I'll say that. Okay. Like it plays so clearly in my mind. That happens for me in books anyways. Like I visualize it in my brain. But I've even talked to some people just even on Instagram when I had posted that I was going to start reading this, that I got some messages from people who were like, I don't envision things in my mind when I read, but when I started reading this book, I did. And I think that speaks to the world building in this. And it's a lot kind of initially at the start. It's kind of a lot to take in. The magic system and the terminology, there's quite a bit of terminology in this. I had to really just kind of trust the author and just keep reading, even though I wasn't necessarily grasping all of it. And it does click. It did click for me eventually, just kind of stick with it. My gosh, it is a intense, incredible book. I see some moments ahead. I'm sort of predicting some things that I am really scared about with our characters, and I'm scared, but I also like never want this to end, which is like the craziest thing ever. I don't know, I haven't felt this way about a book in a really long time. It both terrifies me and has me like really sucked in, and I kind of understand the hype. The hype is valid, both for this book and I'm sure for Manacled as well. Like I understand now why people were so in love with the work from this author. So all I want to do is read this book. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna let myself read a little bit here while I'm sitting here. Maybe I'll crack an Alani, but then I do need to get along with some of my work tasks. So yeah, I'm enjoying this so much more than I thought I would, especially just because of how hard it was in the beginning with just the intensity of it. And there are some really difficult scenes in this where I was like, oh my God, where I had to kind of like look away or like put the book down for a hot minute. I cannot stress enough, please be in a good headspace when you pick up this book, or really truly check the trigger warnings on this big time. But I don't know, this also just may become my new personality. Honestly, it's becoming that. I keep looking up like aesthetic Instagram reels of it, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to live in this forever. You're probably going to see clips of me reading this over the next couple of Vlogtober videos. I did think about giving it its own sort of reading vlog video, but it just made more sense to just denote my progress in this throughout vlog videos. So it will probably still take me a bit to get through this. I am still reading other books as well. The other 2 books that I'm reading, because I needed something fluffy. I needed something fluffy. I am still reading Soul Searching. I feel like I kind of stalled out on this book a little bit. I'm about at the halfway mark. It's okay. It's cute, but I'm not loving it as much as I've liked the Rebel Blue Ranch series, but I also don't know yet. I feel like I really can't fully say either way thus far because I still have the other half of the book to go here. But at my current position at 50%, I'd say it's like a 3-star book. It's trending in that way, but it is just like an easy, light read, which is always really nice. I think it's because I don't particularly love the female main character in this. I think that's my problem, but I don't know. I still have more to go. The other book that I started, and I'm actually farther along because I've been reading this on my Kindle as well, is Wildcard by Elsie Silver. I started buddy reading this with bestie Allie. This is a good time. I'm liking this so far. I'm only just a little bit into it, so I can't speak that much on it, but this has been my late night Kindle read that I use as a palate cleanser, let's not have nightmares sort of book after reading Alchemized. So, but anyways, Alchemized, I'm obsessed. I'm really obsessed. So these are the 3 books that I'm currently sort of bouncing between at the moment. Such a contrast going from Wildcard to Alchemized. My God, like could not be more different. All right. Let's do a little bit of reading, but hopefully get some serious work done because I'm really behind on everything. Hello, good morning, or should I say almost afternoon. It is nearly noon at this point. I have been getting some good work done this morning. Got a video for Patreon, started to edit it. I have a lot of Patreon videos that are just banked that I need to go through and actually edit. So I started working on that. And then I shifted gears and was working on my paper doll project. You would have seen two that I just finished painting. It was a gremlin and Elle Driver from Kill Bill. I'm just waiting for those to flatten out a little bit. I like to sandwich them between some really big like coffee table books to flatten them out a little bit after I've painted them. Then I can outline them, scan them, get them assembled. I'm at an interesting place though, because I need to sketch basically a new batch of these. However, I have a number of these puppet ideas that I have sketched out in my sketchbook that don't necessarily fit any of the prompts, but I still kind of want to really do. For example, I have Barbara from Beetlejuice. So she is the counterpart to Adam, which I already have done. So I feel like I would really like to get her done. That would be kind of fun. I also, prior to even assigning the Peachtober prompts to these, I was going to do paper dolls already. So I had a list of ones that I really wanted to do. And one of them is like Fester and Deb from Addams Family Values. And I really want to illustrate them, but they don't really fit any of the prompts. So again, I'm thinking I may just do them anyways. What else do I have? I also have the Grand High Witch from Witches. I also really love her. And what's fun about her is that I have her in witch form. I also have like her regular head as well. So I thought it would be kind of funny to do both her witch head and her regular head. But yeah, I have these ones, you know, that like they don't fit with any prompts, but they're sketched out and I really want to do them. So I may drift away from the prompts because I think I'm up to day 17 on the prompts of what I just painted. I think that's 16 and 17. So yeah, it's like I have these really good sketches that are kind of done, and rather than like lose momentum and just start sketching new ones, I feel like I should utilize these ones that I have done already. So that's what I'm thinking about doing, is shifting gears and returning back to some of these ones that I already have sketched and just drifting away from the prompts for the back half of the challenge. I feel like ultimately the goal is to have as many of them as I can in the month, right? Like if I can do 31 of them, that would be incredible. I don't think realistically I'm actually going to make that many. I don't know, but I feel like it's better for me to just be able to keep making them versus lose momentum trying to develop new ones. So that's not to say that I still have to develop new ones, I think, if I actually wanted to do 31. But I mean, even just sitting here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 of them sketched and ready to go. So I feel like I should use these sketches and not let these ones go to waste. So I think that's what I'm going to actually do. I'm pivoting a little bit here, which I mean, again, I have ideas for all of the prompts for the rest of the month. But I feel like at this point, it makes no difference. I'm making paper dolls every day. I was going to do this anyway, with or without Peachtober. So screw it. I'm going to just do what I want to do. That said, I may also get myself situated in my living room so that I can continue editing on my laptop. I've been sitting at this desk for a little bit, so I need to change, you know, where I've been sitting at and working. But I'll take my sketchbook in with me and make the contour drawing versions of these, the ones that I just kind of talked about. Do some editing on my laptop. I also have quite a bit of bookkeeping I need to do at some point. Keep telling myself that I'll take myself on like a coffee shop date when I go do that, like at least have like a treat while I'm doing something that I don't enjoy doing, but I can continue doing some editing. So doing some more editing, creating the contour sketches of these, and then maybe squeezing in a chapter or 2 of Alchemized, because I'm still addicted to this book. Quick update on this. I'm not that much farther than when I last spoke to you. I'm just over page 400. So I'm about 400 pages in, still absolutely loving this. I'm really trying to savor this book. And actually, I've been thinking about strategically trying to drag it out a little bit so that I can finish it on or near my birthday, because I'm planning for my birthday, which is next week. I'm planning on doing a like reading retreat of sorts, or just trying to read as much as I can. I may even do a 24-hour reading challenge. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. I'm just so nervous that I'm gonna like finish this book and it's gonna put me into a book slump, and then I'm gonna have all this reading time for my birthday, and then I'm not gonna want to read anything. So I'm like, okay, do I strategically try to drag this out so that I am reading it during my reading retreat? I may end up doing that. I don't know. In other bookish news, I also just wanted to share too, I have my one audiobook that I've been listening to is Frankenstein. I've been listening to Frankenstein. I've been listening to it for a while now. It's fairly entertaining. But it's been very interesting to actually like read that book, or the original text of that is very, very interesting. The fact that it was written in 1818 by a woman and explores so many interesting themes. It's really fascinating. But I really wanted to try to read the original Frankenstein prior to seeing the new movie, because I do want to go see the new movie again as part of my birthday weekend next weekend. So I'm making all these plans of fun things for my birthday, but that is why I need to stay motivated and get work done now so that I have lots of treat yourself time next week for my birthday. So, okay, I'm going to move myself to the living room. It's time for soft office. The soft office on the couch, especially because today is actually a rainy day. I walked my kiddo to school with umbrellas, the whole shebang, because it was raining. It doesn't rain here really ever. So I'm really kind of enjoying this weather. So I feel like being cozy on the couch would pair very nicely to the gray and gloom outside. Look at me. I feel like a podcaster. How soon before this thing just snaps off and goes flying? Oh my God. Hello, checking in. I feel like this vlog has been very random. I haven't had a lot going on this week beyond just my normal monotony of life of getting kiddo to and from school, extracurricular activities, cooking dinner, taking care of the dogs, laundry, never-ending house cleaning, etc., etc. This vlog has just not had a lot going on in it, but I did want to share though really quickly that I have officially gone off the prompt list. We're going rogue, okay? We are going rogue. What I ended up doing was revisiting a number of sketches that I really liked. They were already paper dolls to begin with. And I also have a sketch that was just a random drawing that I had done in August that once I looked at it, I realized it would actually make a great paper doll. I just wanted to share with you some of these sketches that I have. I've taken a number of these sketches now and I've made the crisp contour line drawings. Basically, this is what I use to then transfer everything onto the watercolor paper. It's basically how I get it's how I take my really messy sketches and make them nice and crispy and clean and then use that to transfer and then watercolor. So a couple of puppets that I knew I wanted to do. We have Deb. Oh, am I gonna have to close these? Hold on. I just realized I've been blinded by light this entire time. I've got my sketchbook in front of this, so hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on. We have Deb from Addams Family Values. They were one of the first ones that I sketched when I knew I wanted to do paper dolls during the month of October. This was prior to me even doing the Peachtober prompts. So again, I've known that I've wanted to do paper dolls for October, regardless of Peachtober. It feels good to kind of just be off the prompt list, if I'm being completely honest, just kind of going back to some of the original ideas that I had. That's not to say that maybe I won't return to some of them, but I don't know. I have some of these drawings and I just think they're really fun and I think they will be fun to illustrate. So that's why I'm moving forward with them. I do have Barbara You would have seen, if you've been following this on Instagram or in previous Vlogtober videos, I did create Adam from Beetlejuice, and I made a Barbara, but she didn't fit any of the prompts. So I just kind of left her as is, but it feels kind of weird that I have an Adam and not a Barbara. So I'm going to go ahead and illustrate her. So I did transfer her. This was the one where I had this sketch from August, and I'll show you what the sketch looks like as well. But it is a Baba Yaga house. And I realized once I was looking at it that the limbs of the house, the way that I had sort of sketched the limbs onto the house, really worked well as sort of separate entities. In my mind, I was looking at this sketch and I was visualizing the wings and the feet moving. I realized really quickly that I think I could turn this into its own little paper doll. So we've got the random little Baba Yaga house, which actually this brings me a lot of joy because it's completely like original in that I'm not using some sort of pop culture reference, which is really fun. I could see myself playing more with that in the future now that I've kind of figured out, you know, the assembly and the hacks and the process of how to make one of these from start to finish. I think it would be really fun to do more of my completely original sort of ideas for some of these. I don't know. I see myself continuing to make these even past October, if I'm being completely honest with you. Last but not least, I did create a sketch from the witches. The fun part about her is that, hopefully you guys are seeing these things. The fun part about her is that I had two different heads. I had her in her witch form, and then I had her in her regular like human mask face form. So I tried to figure out a way, and you could see some of even my sketching on this is a little rough because I was tweaking it even when I was making this clean version, that I wanted to create it so that you could swap whatever head you wanted on there, which took some finagling a little bit here to figure out how to make the body suitable for both head types and that it would still look good once they're sort of bracketed into place. Because it's one thing to think about how pieces fit together, but because it's a paper doll and because you're connecting them with brads, you actually have to think about the overlap. So what's the piece that's going in front? What's the piece that's going behind? If there's a piece that's being covered, how is that being handled? There's a bit of engineering that kind of has to go into this a little bit. I mean, I say engineering, but you know what I mean. There's a little extra layer of thought that goes behind these because you really do have to think about their final form and how they are assembled together. So I've got a nice big batch here of stuff now. We've got Barbara, Deb, Fester, Baba Yaga, and witches. So I've got 5 new paper dolls here ready to start working on, which is really exciting. Like I said, the next step on that is going to be transferring them over. Let me show you that Baba Yaga sketch, by the way. This was just a random thing that I had done in August and just thought, you know what, let me come back to this because I could visualize in my mind the wings and the feet moving around. So it translated well to a paper doll format. This morning, I did also finish up 2 additional paper dolls, which you would have seen me working on. This is day 16, which is hatch. So we have the gremlin hatching out of his little cocoon there. This brings me a lot of joy. It also gets me very excited for Christmas. In case you don't know, I do giant gremlin hand-painted wood cutouts in our front yard for Christmas, and every year I add to our display. I have some really fun additions for this year, so I'm really excited. You will see me painting more gremlins next month, so stay tuned for that. I have a whole set of life-size movie theater gremlins that I didn't finish last year that I'm hoping to finish this year. Then the other one that I finished this morning was day 17, which was Whistle. So we've got the nurse figure. I believe her name is Elle Driver from Kill Bill. She's a little bobblehead-ish. Her head is kind of bigger than her body, but she's also she's tall and thin even in the film. So I feel like it actually kind of translates well to her character in the movie. I'm really happy with the way her face looks and the hair, capturing the hair. The hair is really like the big thing with her. It was funny too. I actually realized I had painted the lower limbs a flesh color, not realizing that she has white tights on. So I had to go back and touch this up with a white acrylic marker. I did also scan it already in flesh color. So that's something I'm going to have to deal with digitally if this is something I end up offering as a digital download. I don't know if I would. I don't really foresee her being a highly requested download, but I don't know. I'll figure that out later. I'll let future me deal with that. So that is, again, up to day 17. So I have 17 fully completed, another 5 sketched and ready to go. And with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this little vlog here because now I need to go grocery shopping. I need to go grocery shopping and then get my kid to music class and walk the dog. So I'm wrapping up my studio time and I'm wrapping up this vlog at the very same time. Let me know in the comments down below if you've made it to the end, by the way, which one of these newer paper dolls are you most excited to see me illustrate? Because at this point, it kind of doesn't matter what order I do them in because I'm not following the prompts at this current moment. So it's kind of fun. I can kind of pick and choose which ones I want to do more so than others, which is kind of exciting. So I don't know. Let me know of this batch of 5 new ones that I've created. Which one are you most excited for me to illustrate? You can leave that as an actual like typed up comment, or if you want to leave it to me as emojis for me to figure out, you can also do that as well. Okay, that about does it from here. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I put out at least 1 new video every week and a lot right now for Vlogtober. If you're looking for more video content, I have lots more over on my Patreon. Art with me's, tarot journaling, tons of vlogs, lots of Disney vlogs, all sorts of fun stuff is over on Patreon. You can join for a free trial, pop in and out, join, cancel, do whatever you want. It's a good time over there. And yeah, like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.